Hi, this is Max Hazley. I want to start out by saying hi to the hiring manager at SETI Law Group. And thanks for reaching out and taking your time to go over this process with me. I have a lot to share. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you. So let's see if these questions we have prepared here. So the first question, tell us about your professional experience in brief. So my professional experience with immigration law sort of revolves around an internship I took last semester. It was paid. I started out unpaid and I was kept around and promoted to a paid internship. I've always had an interest in the field, not immigration law specifically, but law in general. It's always been my interest. I'm studying it currently, planning to transfer and make that my what's currently my minor. I want to transfer and make it my major at a place a school with a law school attached because those private universities normally offer that as a major if they have the law schools attached. So yeah, I'm furthering my education with that. Um, as you know, looking for jobs in the field, and I think immigration is something I'd be really interested in and something I could stay in for a long time. So what steps do I take when planning for a big presentation at work? After, hearing about the presentation, I really like to be proactive and, make a Google Doc, maybe share it with the people I'll be working with. And, I mentioned my education is becoming more about law. I like to do a lot of research and give myself some time to think it over, passively. Um, I'll let the ideas come to me and just sort of draft something up. And, as I get prepared, as I get closer to presenting, I'll go over the rough draft and kind of revise a little bit, fact check it, and run it by my peers if we're working in a group. And then after everyone's contributed, we rehearse. And then, it's just stuff like body language and tone. I review a little bit so that I can make sure I'm delivering the message and, all this stuff we put work into properly and convey that message properly. So yeah, that's about all that goes into it for me. Tell us about a time when you had to convey a negative message on behalf of your organization. How did you approach the situation? I've had to definitely in my early professional career, I've had to, inform people that they're pretty close to termination with the organization, with the company. And it is very high stakes. I know that there's a lot on the line for people. Um, I was actually significantly younger than the person at the time, and I know that plays a big role into, the pressures and stuff of being in that workplace, receiving that news. So I tried to lead with, sympathy. It was sort of like a don't shoot the messenger dynamic because I wasn't directly managing that person, but at the same time, having someone in that space relay that information to you other than your direct manager kind of hammers home that whole importance. They kind of got the severity of that. They kind of got that, it wasn't just a management issue, that it was something that their coworkers were starting to take notice of. And I feel like because of that and the way I worded it based around that dynamic, the message really got across well. And I'm grateful for experiences like that. I think it adds to my, how would I put that? I guess my rapport with my coworkers, and I'm learning how to build those relationships and learning how to make those relationships endure through, some of the hard times that come with being in a high stress work environment. What does professional and unprofessional communication at work mean to you? Give us examples. So, great question. I think professional communication at work will normally have a clear objective based off of, some of the stuff I've learned this year. Um, I would definitely say that there's a clear direction with the professional communication and unprofessional in the workplace, at least, still, pertains to work, but I think it's not as directed. It's sort of between peers and can be of, low importance. Something that could be said in an email would be more in the unprofessional work communication. I don't want to focus too much on the negative end of that because, I don't think that that's appropriate for the workplace. And I'm sure HR would do a better job of explaining that to me. But as far as professional goes, you know, there should be a sense of servitude and a sense of even when you're discussing something that's not that important, still that mask of working, that like that you're gonna let your superiors know that regardless of what's being discussed at that moment, that the work being relayed to you is complete, you know. So I think that's important. And what are your thoughts about using digital media at work? Digital media, as far as something like this with Zoom, I think it could be appropriate, and I think it's gonna hopefully optimize, what we're doing at work in the environment. Like I said, a lot of stuff that is unprofessional could be communicated, maybe email, via text if it's appropriate. And stuff like Zoom can save organizations a lot of time and money as far as organizing and getting some loose ends together. So I think it's overall a benefit, but it's important to follow your organization's guidelines when it comes to stuff like that. And I don't think it's something you should really carry your own rules into an organization with. I'd say leave that to, again, their team, maybe the HR, maybe the hiring manager will go through that with you. But I think it varies definitely. Why are you the best candidate for this position? For me, I think you'll be investing in, the future with me. And like I said at the beginning of this, immigration law really interests me. And I know I'll be in law for my professional career. But with this, with hiring me, I think you'll have someone dedicated to really learning and internalizing what they're learning. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. And I hope my resume speaks for itself. And I want to thank you again for having me on and taking the time today. Thank you.